Hey, can you hear me?
Yo, yo, yo. Can you see my screen? I think I
Yeah, I can
started
see
it.
it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I was just saying like I basically try to not autopilot, and I think that's what's happening in some of your games.
Yeah, the one I went, I went 0 and 10 and 0. I was getting, it was a really bad game, but then the ones after it, I was streaming. I'm pretty sure, and then I would just straight autopilot after one bad game. It's so hard not to
y-
reach chat and when I'm streaming. You
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. I totally feel you. That's why I just have like that one account that I just play on, and I turn my brain off and I just talk to chat over and over again. But the 3 weeks I was climbing in, I think I had like one game where I had more than 5 deaths in like 3 weeks. Um, So definitely, just eyes to the minimap, not on the chat. It definitely helps a lot to
Yeah, I
just
want to play a lot off stream and like,
offshoot.
yeah,
Okay, yeah,
and like
yeah,
start. So, cause I do realize it's real. Like I play, I feel like I play a lot better off stream than I do on stream, just because I'm so like glued to my chat. It's not good. Not to Warwick top.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's pretty nasty. I actually have a decent time against them if I run ignite. It is a bit punishing if you die with that, but
Should
it
I
does help a
ever?
lot. I would give it a shot. Yeah, if you go teleport, you can't ever fight them if you're okay with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they dodged. Do I ban Warwick?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That lane is horrible.
Yeah, especially a barrier.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, they always go flash barrier or flash exhaust, and just the moment you think you have them, they'll just drop it, and they start healing like 100 per auto. It's pretty annoying.
Is there certain, what champions do you think I should take Ignite into?
I only
Like
take it
Warwick?
into if I'm playing seriously, I only take it into Warwick. Yeah, you can
Okay.
take it into Darius if you want, but it's not necessary. They usually go Ghost.
Yeah, I like it into Darius. I feel like I can hard snowball into him with Ignite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The only thing that sucks is if you get camped against them, then yeah, you have Ignite versus a dude that has like 2 levels on you. It doesn't really help.
True. True, true.
How do you time your recalls?
Um, so I normally recall. It's hard to think about when I do them. So if I crash the minion wave and I can buy an item, or I try to do it before 6, so I can get the item advantage, and then normally I try not to recall as like too much. I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know like specifically when to say
oh yeah,
what I
no
do.
problem, no problem. It's just the thought process. So you are about to crash a wave, and they're sitting slightly past their turret range. Let's say,
Hmm.
it's let's say 2 minutes 50, and they have some jungler that can gank you at that time. Um, do you try and crash it and run, or do you continue slow pushing it and then and then running, or seeing if
If
you can
it
go for a
starts to
trade?
go past and I know I can't kill them or I shouldn't go for a trade, I just try to push it and back. It's really rough. I feel I do die a lot when I try to shove the wave. Like if I
Yeah,
kill them and I try to like shove it right away because I'm like worried, or I'm trying to recall because I killed them, and they TP and then I die. Normally I get ganked at that point.
yeah. This is the whole autopilot thing that I mentioned. Like, if I feel like if I autopilot where I kill them, and let's say I have like half my HP, and I know they're gonna teleport, and then I know there's no chance I'm gonna be able to push it in. Trust me, it happens to me too, where I just
I know I'm like
autopilot and I
it's
just
gonna freeze, you know.
yeah, it's gonna freeze, and I just want to push it in. But that's the thing about this game. You just have to accept the fact that you're just gonna lose some stuff sometimes, and that's okay. Like, if
Yeah.
you kill somebody, it's better to kill them and lose like 6 minions rather than like gain the 6 minions but not kill them. Or if you end up dying after that, you lose the 6 minions and you also gave them a kill back, so you're down 6 CS basically. But if you get the kill, then you're up something, even if you lose even if you lose a bunch of CS basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I take tenacity into
Into
this?
that team, yeah, definitely. They have a Garen. All right, so he does have ignite. I think he's red side, so he might have to leash. So now I immediately know that I can potentially get my 5 stacks at level 1 versus this guy. Like, obviously, I would be careful for his ignite and bone plating, so you don't want to just like straight up all in him, but you want to use your auto range against this guy.
So do I want to be like right up on the minion wave when it's there? If they leash?
If he leashes, I would just auto-attack the caster twice, and then just wait for the 3 melees to get low, and then you Q them. You auto the caster, and then you can Q the caster, and you can get your 4 stacks, and then Q him and get 5 stacks.
Okay. And do I want to start... I don't know what to start anywhere.
I always go Doran's Blade.
Okay.
Yeah. And just use the Biscuit when you're really low on mana.
How do you decide between the Corrupting Pot and the Blade?
I always go Blade. Like,
always?
top lane,
No matter what?
I always go Blade, yeah.
Okay.
The only time I don't go Blade is if I'm mid lane, where passive sustain is more important. And normally, the moment you spawn, you always want to run to the Tri-Brush, because, yeah, somebody might end up getting, yeah.
I'll just back, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, that was really risky. Yeah, I would wait, because if he has to leash, and sorry, I guess, brain farting a little bit, I thought he was on red side, but you're the one on red side. So because he's blue side, he probably doesn't have to leash. So it's probably going to be an E-start, but I would just hold on to it and see what he does. You can already tell he's going to be a little bit more aggressive, just because he did that. So it's probably going to have to be E, but we'll see. Yeah, I would say sturdy because you have to leash.
I probably should have waited.
Yeah, I would auto it 3 times, and I would walk the long way around through your tower, basically.
I took it. I got hit. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I never get hit by that.
Probably too much. Yeah. It's okay. Thought he was gonna cheese, like he's just sitting in the bush, but you might miss a minion. I think you autoed it 4 times. Maybe it's fine. Sometimes it's RNG. So yeah, just staying back is fine here. He's just shoving it, and this is normally what you want. You just don't want to get out of XP range, obviously. Now with your minions, let him jump on you and then get Yuri on him. Like, if he runs into your minion wave to try and get something on you, you can stun him. Okay, well right now he's gonna hit level 2, so...
Seems like he can push pretty quick.
Yeah. I would eat that caster, or melee minion. Yeah.
Do I want to try to keep it from like pushing all the way into my tower, if I can? Like
no, because
really?
Because he has Ignite and it can really screw you up. Like if he uses his Q on a minion or something, feel free to auto attack the minions or Q them or whatever. But you can't contest the minion wave right now because he has a level 1 and he has Ignite. So you just want to farm whatever you can. You don't have to be too cautious, but you know, you don't want to like try to freeze a cannon wave in front of him. Alright, so now I just focus on stacking your passive, nothing else.
Oh, wait, send in.
You can go for something here.
A little trade.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he has no spin. He lost his stacks. He has no Q.
Oh, I missed.
It's all good.
Oops.
Alright, so just check the bush. Yeah, that's fine. Still here. It's okay. You could actually... Yeah, I guess that's fine. I was gonna say you could probably go back as well and just teleport on him. I think you can get launched or refillable, but it's fine. He's shoving you in. Yeah, just get the minion wave. You definitely lose an all-in right now. Okay, well, if he's gonna just shove you in, then I guess you can just wait around. Is there jungler?
Remus.
Remus, okay, yeah.
Alright, he's warding, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, back here.
Yeah, you can. It's not a cannon wave, but it should be fine. You can sell your biscuit and get the Vamp Scepter.
Can I walk to lane here?
Yeah, walk to lane, unless he tries to shove it in, you can teleport on a minion and stop him. Alright, so your Kha'Zix is nearby, but I think Garen gonna be level 6, so...
Yeah, for me. Ignite's so cringe.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but... Yeah, I'll go over the game with you after.
Okay.
And show you where you missed out on an opportunity, but... Yeah, I think it's a bad idea of Kha'Zix against him. So if Kha'Zix is on his way, then...
They kill me.
Alright, so Kha'Zix is gonna invade. So when this comes closer, I would just work on getting your passive so you can trade with this guy, stop him from getting to your jungler. Because like right now, if your jungler runs into his jungler, this guy wasted his W.
Should I ping for Kha'Zix to come?
You should try and all in this guy. His W was down. Okay, so now he's gonna go after your jungler.
Do I?
See what's happening with Rammus and Kha'Zix and watch your character at the same time. Okay. So give him red pinks because Garen's gonna be there.
Oh no.
He's dead.
Yeah,
You can't do anything.
You do not know burden until
Silence
you've
rip.
seen 1,000 people hanging on your
Yeah.
single word.
At least he ulted.
Yeah, that's true. You can use that to all in this guy.
I don't know if he ignited him though.
That's fine. Just get your...
Oh no, I just picked you up.
That's alright. You can just back up.
Did he ult? Yeah, he ulted.
I think so.
Okay, well, silence.
I moved to unsung melodies and unbeaten.
Okay,
Yeah,
Kha'Zix
just
is
focus
gonna engage me.
on... I would W the backline right now. Like,
Oh, that's on the back line.
yeah. it's
Okay,
alright.
wait. I think we get him.
Cue him after the spin. Yeah, just cue his ass.
Well, okay.
You can freeze this. Only kill one. Actually, you know what? Push it back. He has Ignite. I forgot.
Shove tower.
It's not a cannon wave, right? Yeah, you can shove it to tower. Just the whole W, yeah. That's fine.
Okay, the Q. Do I get the pickaxe first?
No, get the recurve. Always recurve.
Fight for what?
And how do you time your teleports normally? Like if you teleport to something?
I like for like laning. I'll TP early if they have ignite and they waste something, and I can like. I'm saying I don't think too deep into it. I don't like to TP to team fights unless I feel like they need
Do we
me
want to be safe?
and I can help. Like I watch and see what's happening in the fight, and then I TP there. I try to save it. I feel like for the most part, or save it for to join objectives and pressure.
Right,
Yeah.
makes sense.
So I don't like to TP if I don't have to, or I try to flank if I can. But I don't think too much. I just kind of go with what's happening.
Oh, I would definitely think about it before
Like I don't know.
teleporting.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like unless I think I can get a kill and they need me, or if the fight's gonna go well, I'll TP. But if not, I try not to go because I wasted a lot. I was playing a lot with Ignite, so I feel like I become really bad with it.
So your Kha'Zix is invading again.
They have? I think they're good. Yeah. I don't think-
Kha'Zix is really low, so but I think they'll be
Yeah.
fine unless Oriana cuts them off. Okay, it looks like Garen is just...
Contact with target.
it's
Getting
really
that
awkward.
control word.
Yeah, so right now, I would just keep the wave in the middle, yeah. Just let them hit each other. And now I would start building up my passive. Get like those first two minions.
Cut them down.
And now, don't be too afraid of him to go for trades, but watch what he uses. Okay, you might want to... yeah, just cue that. Okay. Did you W his silence? I don't remember.
I
No.
don't want her to see
No?
us.
Okay. Yeah, you always want to W his silence. Because usually they Q and they start spinning. Right here you can hit level 9, and you have a level on him. He does have Ignite though, so... You're gonna lose this.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm sure.
Oh my god. The stacks made me feel like I could do something with him. He just stood there and watched me run around.
Yeah, it happens.
Do I get boots? Or
No, I was just focused on finishing pork at this point, yeah. So, mostly the reason why you lost that is because when you started fighting him, you were already kind of chunked.
Danced for fun.
And normally when he goes for like a Q, you can either W it, or you can WQ the casters or whatever, and then just get away from him. And then it expires, and then use one of the casters to jump back on him. and that's a lot of his damage. Because usually, when they don't get the Q on you and they waste it, you almost always win. And if
So the
you
Q is what I
also,
want. Okay.
yeah, and you always want to use the minions. Like the enemy minions are your friends, basically. That's how you can avoid his Q, his E,
We
you know,
are the
all that kind
only
of stuff.
masters of our fate. They'll know me as the last to lay down resistance.
Yeah, at this point, I would just focus on farming.
Bork.
You're not going to be able to fight him until Bork, yeah. He might look to be aggressive once his ignite is up, like under tower even. I notice you E from your side a lot. Is that normally how you do your E's, or?
I feel like it's depending on where they're at.
Yeah, I almost always do my E's from their side because it
So if I'm back.
normally
If they capture me,
they're focused on your character. So if you do it from your side, it's easier for them to see. But if you do it from their character model, they're not going to be as focused on their character model as they are on yours. Especially when they're trying to be aggressive, like where he's running at you, he's looking at you, he's not looking at his character.
hurt and subvert. That's how I do it.
It's a minor thing, but yeah, it can make a difference. So right here, I would try and freeze it. I would walk in front of it, just Q the low HP one as well, and just. You only need 3 casters and 1 melee
Okay.
to freeze.
Like that.
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
Never meant to
And ping your Kazakhs to that.
follow.
Okay, so he's running at you. Avoid him.
Oh,
That's
I did
fine.
it backwards again.
No, it's
Okay, I
alright.
need to
If
work
you're
on
comfortable, it's fine. You know, it's not something you can fix in like one game. If you take another Q from him, he can't kill you.
Oh, he can kill me? Okay.
Under tower, yeah. Focus on healing up. He has a bramble, so don't be afraid to auto attack him when he's under tower. He'll take turret aggro.
Oh,
Alright, I'll
true.
just go back.
Each form has a name known only.
So cannon wave, he'll have a harder time pushing that in.
Or in the flash. And I want magic resistance into him or no? Would that be
I would just go double sword and build that into shield bow.
do I TP? Yeah, probably.
No,
No?
just run
Okay.
back. He's not hard shoving it. And it's slow pushing too. You're probably not even gonna miss the cannon if you walk. Okay, you might miss the cannon, but you keep your teleport for cannon. I think that's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know actually. Just love
If he
it.
instantly shoved it,
Of course,
if he instantly shoved that, I would have TP'd. But he didn't, so there's no point. Like, yeah, you lost like maybe a 1/6 of a level, but that's about it. So he probably went back right now. I would just shove it in.
I see Ramus topside.
Yeah, but he definitely went back. You saw he was sitting on a lot of gold. And now I would
Irelia buffs
make
delayed
your way to
Mungus.
dragon.
Wait, what did you say? Sorry, I heard something.
Make your way to dragon.
Okay.
Yeah. It's up in 20 seconds, so this way you don't have to.
Oh wait, I got nervous.
and if that's
Oh, it's alright.
So it's still go?
Okay.
The two top?
Yeah.
Alright.
You can't stop them. That's funny though. I think you could have some free money there.
I got scared.
It's
Oh.
alright.
Okay, they're everywhere.
Yeah. I would just use the blast plant.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm gonna die.
Ionia.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Why are they all up there?
I don't know. I'm actually very surprised.
Why are they all up there? I should have just flashed right away. If I was gonna flash at all.
Yeah. It's alright. I wasn't expecting that either. I thought there would be like a round dragon, but I guess not. That's alright.
So
Yeah, it's
I
to
go
a bot.
bottom now? Okay.
Yeah.
They got dragon though. Worth. I think I helped.
Yeah, Infernal. Yeah.
Until you've seen 1,000 people
Sacrifices.
hanging on your every word.
Right now it's pushing to you, so you don't need to do anything here. You can just last hit. Or actually wait for it to push up because their team is around.
I see Garen running towards them.
Yeah.
A little bit. Shove it then if everyone's mid.
Yeah, you can shove it now. safe. Keep watching what's happening.
Like, I have a hard time
Yeah.
farming him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no problem.
I try
Because you don't need to
using
watch
hotkey.
your character as much. I don't even use hotkeys, honestly.
Oh.
We said I
Yeah. Once you start auto attacking the minions, you don't need to like keep watching them all the time.
Taking top tower.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it.
Like all of them. I mean, that'd be.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
They're all dead.
could have maybe TP, but it's honestly fine. You're pretty weak right now. It's better to wait for your shield bow.
There's no way they don't back off, right? Are they gonna keep on pushing top?
Yeah, it looks like they're continuing.
Take
You can't change it at this point. They're definitely just gonna get the tower. Yeah, just get the Krugs.
I'll make the most of it.
You have been hard stuck plat since season 6. Stay stuck. Oh my god. Alright.
Vamp and
Do I want
then I
the.
would...
Okay.
No, the Vamp is better, and then I would switch to Sweeper.
Super, okay.
Yeah.
Where they fell, freedom grew.
Now just go top and let bot shove back to you.
Oh, they're all gonna engage landing, but.
You might be able to teleport at some point, but I would just keep watching. I wouldn't do anything rash, obviously, especially because you're pretty weak right now.
Oh.
Oh, you have Garen trailing you.
Do I wanna.
I think you can.
Do I fight him? I kinda have to.
You have to at this point, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have any idea that he was even there.
Yeah, it happens. You got cheesed. But when you have a Borg like and you get jumped like that, you can stun them. You know, auto 3 times, and then you steal their movement speed. You can run away with that possibly. And I would have ran towards Krugs, and you know, you would have probably
Yeah, back
made it
this
to the
way.
bush. No, you would go through the red buff way, and then you could have eat the Krugs and then jumped over to them.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. No cure, no flash.
Yeah, that's actually worth for you guys. I know it sucks that a teammate dies, but he just traded a flash for a 2 and 5 Jinx,
Yeah.
basically. That's like 100 gold or whatever.
What should I buy?
Just finish your shield bow, because like it's gonna let you team fight. Yeah. They're probably at Baron, I'm guessing. Maybe ping your team. Oh.
Or like,
Yeah, ping them.
I wonder if Jinx could steal it.
No. She didn't even try. Oh, she didn't have ult. So yeah, cases like this, I usually just try and focus on
The splitting.
farming on my items. Yeah. Just head down. Yeah, them getting Baron doesn't stop you guys from like fighting them back. So now just watch and wait for something good. Like your setup isn't very good right now, so don't go into Rammus. MF is gonna ult. Just wait. Yeah, stun that guy. I would probably throw everything on that guy. Oh, there's the MF. MF?
Oh, I think I'm just dead.
You can kill MF.
I can't move.
I would just run away.
I can't. There's nowhere to go.
It's like,
Damn, Quadra.
yeah. If you had shield, but I think it could have killed Jin, but you know.
You just like Gale Force way. He's like, no.
Yeah, and this is, I think this is a tabby game. They have quite a bit of AD. Could you tab again, actually? Just hold it. Yeah, definitely tabby game. Oh, it's a support MF. What the hell? Wow, they're really fed. I think if you get a good ult on Jin and MF, you can still maybe win the game. Because you do have Kha'Zix and Silas follow up, and I guess maybe Jinx. But
Reform yourself.
it's gonna be hard, but doable. Like, you're actually not bad into their team. They do have like 2 tanky people, but they have no Q interrupts, so
So just go for those two.
Yeah, those two. Those two and Morgana. Those are the only ones you can go for.
They're fighting again. Yeah.
You can't do anything with that. You just gotta wait for them to push up now. You can maybe try to kill Garen with Kha'Zix. I don't think you can do anything with this. They're just gonna kill Bran. Just ping that you're on your way for Garen. Try. You can't do a lot right now. Might as well try and trade with him.
Dude, I think I waited a little too long. I probably should just hop on it right away.
Yeah, you guys should have tried right away, but it's alright. That happens. I think they just got too ahead. The only opportunity you had was to get really ahead in lane, and then you could have maybe snowballed, but otherwise your team was kind of dumpster tier. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm super. When they have ignite, I'm super passive. I feel compared to they don't. You know, like Garen. I mean, post 6.
Post 6, yeah. It makes sense, but at the same time, if you have no confidence, it really just becomes pretty sluggish to play.
Yeah.
So you just have to like fake it at least.
Just be super aggressive.
Yeah, be super aggressive, but not like super aggressive. Just
we're running it down. Yeah.
Yeah. I usually tell people to E however they're comfortable, but I do think that Eing from their direction tends to give you a lot more leverage because when you E, you're paying attention to their character, right? You're not like watching your character. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, like I'm trying to throw it where I think they're gonna run.
Yeah, so if you E from their side, it makes it easier to follow their movements because you're already following their movements, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I heard it's also it comes out faster.
It appears that way. It doesn't matter where you pull it out from. If you do it fast enough, it'll be the same speed. But it's generally easier on your eyes to do it from their side. All right. So what you did here is fine, just letting him shove you. But you're like really afraid of the minions, you know. If you look right here, you could be going for that minion. I know he's spooky and everything. He has ignite and he might damage you. But if he jumps on you, your whole minion wave is right here. So he'll start taking all of them. And that would be... Like, it sounds bad, you know, if he jumps on you. He's level 2. Do you know when somebody hits level 3?
No, I don't actually. I only know it's the 6th minion, or the first minion in the second wave to get level 2. But I don't know level 3.
Oh yeah, no problem. It's the first 2 melees of the next wave that give somebody level 3.
Okay, first 2 melees. Okay.
First 2 melees, level 3. Ding ding. So right now you have some time. Like these 2 have to die for him to hit level 3. So if you walk up right now, you can go for this minion. You can kill it. He'll Q you or whatever. But the key thing is you're gonna be level 2 the moment you kill that minion. And what happens is you suddenly have your Q, and then let's say he jumped you, he QE'd you, and then he backed away. You're probably going to be sitting at, let's say, I think it's fair to say about that much HP after leveling up. But you're also running Time Warp, and you have Biscuits. He just used this whole combo. Now suddenly you have like lane control, right? You're suddenly stacking your passive. He has to wait for cooldowns, and you can basically trim this wave.
Does he still win with ignite though? Like
he can't 100 to 0 you. But if you get your 5 stacks right now, like if you kill this minion, maybe he jumps on you or whatever. But you'll be able to get this minion and hit level 2 and then start auto attacking these minions back, and seeing if you can balance out the wave to the point where you guys are even. You don't have to do this. This is like if you want to be aggressive. But basically, for me, against this player, I would immediately have for this minion right here. Because this minion, I can kill that minion. And even if he jumps on me, I have my minion wave to back me up. And I'm going to hit level 2 when he does that on me. So he does that, he spins on me, whatever. At least I got level 2 and I have my Q now, and I can look to bounce back the wave. And if I do manage to trim out the wave enough to the point where I know he's going to hit level 3, but if, let's say, under tower, like let's say the minions are right here now, you took some damage, but what is important is you have your stacks. Maybe I'll look to cheese them back. Or maybe the minion wave, if I do well enough when I fight him, during the levels I described, maybe the minion wave will stay here. And what I can do is I can bait him into a fight where I have a minion wave backing me up, where I Q an enemy minion that gives me level 3. And I know when I'm going to hit level 3 because, I told you the first 2 melees of the third wave give you level 3. And I know when he's going to hit it. So I know when to avoid him and when I can fight him. Like, if you walk up and kill this minion, you're both level 2. And you have your minion wave. His minion wave is still on its way. Like, it's probably, like, somewhere over there. So you can always think about the minion waves and when you're going to level up. Like, when someone's level 6 and you're level 5 and you're about to hit level 6, it looks very good for them to all on you, right?
Yeah.
And when they try, if you plan out your minions accordingly, like, let's say you're against the Riven and she's going to just try to all on you the moment you walk up, but you're like level 5, you have a long sword and a Doran's Blade. If you hold out your W to the second portion, it will make the casters low enough for you to Q reset, and then maybe you can hit level 6 and then alter back and then Q her, land your E, and just sync everything together. And she'll be committed to the point where it's hard for her to avoid your abilities. So you can always think about the minion waves and how you can plan them out. Like I told you, my plan would have been I walk up, I get this cast or melee minion, and then I'm gonna be the same level as them. I can try to assert some authority back on the lane instead of letting him control the wave permanently. But it's not completely necessary. You can let him push you in. But in this case, I think I would have taken it personally. So let's just play that, and then just let him push you in here. And you went for an auto attack there. That's fine. You just saw him use a spin. So I think I told you here, this is like where you wanted to focus on getting your passive. He just used this.
Is it the Q that I want to?
The Q or the E, like anything.
Okay.
Like, yeah, anything. Any ability is fine. But like generally, you don't want to all in him right now because he has like a level on you. It's just more like getting your auto attacks in like that. You always want to keep a tempo like that. You don't always. You don't want to just start being super passive in lane or anything like that. Like when you get an opportunity to auto attack or stack your passive and auto attack, then you always want to go for it. If you don't think you're going to be in danger, like you're under tower, he can't all in you. So right here, he went for an auto attack and just let him, auto him back. It's not a huge deal, but and right here, you're really afraid of him. The reason why you shouldn't be too afraid of him in a case like that is because you do have your minions. He jumps on you, he tanks those minions. You can auto him back, and you stack your passive. You have like 3 stacks. So you always want to just keep an eye out for those things. You always want to watch your passive. You always want to get those auto attacks, especially once you have your passive. And getting free auto attacks with your passive mean a lot more, right? So if you can get like 3, 4 auto attacks on someone with your passive, suddenly they're very, very killable.
Yeah, it does too.
Yeah, so you're not really like taking advantage of how good Irelia is at that. And he looks scary and everything, but the moment you start hitting him back and doing it with 5 stacks and always watching out for your 5 stacks, or just using the wave basically, you'll start doing a lot back to him. Like when he's being a dumbass and going under your tower, like you just want to focus on getting your stacks and just making sure you hit him back so he doesn't get to do that for free.
Yeah, punish him.
Yeah, punish him basically. Because once he gets like level 6 and you haven't established much of a lead over him, then he can be pretty annoying with the ultimate and ignite. Another thing is if you open up on him first, it's very predictable on what he's going to do. He's going to try to QE you, and what you could do is once you stun him, auto him, Q him, or whatever, obviously with your 5 stacks, the moment he starts queuing and running towards you, you can also set up the minion wave with your W and Q and just kite him around so he doesn't land anything on you. Here is also, right here, I think was a decent time to see if you can fight him. He just wasted his W. That makes him pretty tanky. Q a minion, like right here, you could probably go for an all-in right now.
Yeah, right
the
there,
moment he started, the moment he started going towards this minion, and you got to think about why would they ever move up, right? Like, there's no point for this guy to walk up if there's no last hit, like a minion to last hit, or to trade with you. In this case, he can't trade with you, so he's walking for the minion. And that also locks him in an animation. He'll auto-attack the minion. He loses an auto-attack that he can use on you. So the moment he walked up like this, you just ult his ass. You have 4 stacks. Honestly, there's no way you lose this. He just uses W as well.
Yeah.
So you're missing a lot of opportunities because this guy's just wasting his abilities, basically.
Just because he doesn't ignite.
Yeah, it's just because he has Ignite.
Yeah.
Like, no joke, I would have probably killed him like 3 times by now.
Yeah.
Not out
I'm
of
just
ego, but because
terrified
of
of it.
the mistakes. Yeah, I know Ignite is terrifying, but I honestly like it when they have Ignite because the moment you kill them, you just snowball so hard on them because they can't teleport back to catch the wave. They can't teleport to influence, like a bad team fight that their team takes. They can't do a lot of things if you get ahead of them. So this guy give you a lot of opportunities already. Like sometimes you'll only get them early on. Maybe they won't fuck up later on. But if you didn't take advantage of those early opportunities, then what to do later on wouldn't matter as much. So if you kill him those couple of times that I mentioned, or maybe burn his flash or establishing lane control, he wouldn't be able to run around and do whatever the hell he wanted to do. Because that's what he ended up doing. He was like walking in your jungle, just sitting there cheesing people. Like that's not the Garen you want. You want him to be weak and scared.
Yeah.
Right here, you notice that he immediately ran towards your Kha'Zix, and you're not really pinging your Kha'Zix much. Like this guy is like
And you
committed
spam
on. Yeah, you should be spamming him that Garen is on his way because this guy, he has delayed reaction. Okay, like he's not
Yeah.
gonna react right away. He's just like walk towards Garen. He's like, "Oh, hello, Mr. Garen," and
Yeah.
then he's like, "Oh, I got silenced." But honestly, if you gave him like 20 pings before Garen actually came, maybe he would have he would have ran the other way. Yeah. And right here, let's see, he ulted, right? Yeah, he ulted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the moment you got back to lane here, I would have went for the minion, queued it, and obviously he's gonna look to, QE or whatever, go for a trade. The moment you queue that, but right here you use your W, which is a little late, but it's fine. But you could have used your W this way. You get this minion
Oh,
well
it has
too,
other
no?
minions too. Yeah.
Yeah. So you give yourself more leverage if you do that. So I always want to be watching those waves. And the moment he jumped on you like that, I think you should have honestly ulted him because he has no ult. He has ignite, but he has no ult. So right here, he W's you. You should have gotten your W before, or say he Qs you. You should have gotten your W before he Qs you, and then you could have gotten all those minions set up. You could have gotten your 5 stacks. You could have ulted him. You could have ulted him. I know he had level 7, but you'd also be level 7 if you killed all those minions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So another opportunity that you missed. He got a lot of free damage on you because I think you screwed up your Q as well. And right there, you could kind of see that I think he was going to jump on you. He's just running towards you.
He's just standing there like ready
The
to
moment
come closer.
Yeah, exactly. The moment he did this, like right here when you queued the minion, his ult is down. You should have just ulted, honestly.
Yeah.
Your ult would also.
Good time. I should just.
Yeah, another good time. Yeah, not only that, like you can't even die at this HP, right? Like he'll Q ignite, but you have the 3 casters. And you're gonna heal up, and you have tonic, and you have the biscuit. Like you'll heal enough to actually kill him here, especially because you're also gonna level up, and he's gonna take turret aggro. Look at that. Imagine if you ulted there.
Yeah.
He would have died.
Because he hit me with that and didn't do as much as I thought it was going to.
Yeah. Garen mostly does. Most of his damage is like if he gets like a full spin on you, basically. Like the Q will do some burst damage, but everything is the spin. But even like you're gonna say he's gonna spin and ignite me, I just die. But yeah, your biscuit, you had like a level up, and he would be taking the tower and have a vamp scepter, so you would heal a lot still.
I realized what you meant by the W after I W'd to hit the back, so I can Q to the back, because that would have been...
Yeah, you see your damage on him, right? Like before somebody gets armor versus Irelia, your damage is nuts against them with 5 stacks. Like this guy just dropped, so you just don't have anything to be afraid of, really. Yeah. And at the end of the day, what do you have to lose, right? It's just True. One ranked game out of like 1,000.
True.
And right here, it's a spooky time because he has Bramble now. Makes him kind of annoying.
I had a game today where I was like 17-0 at one point, I think, and I still lost it.
And why do you think you lost?
See, whenever I do snowball in lane and I am doing really good and I'm killing them like on respawn when they come back to lane, I still I have a hard time like just knowing what to do outside of it to carry. Like I struggle at that point where I'm like, do I just keep on pushing top and get rift and try to like destroy top? Do I go mid? Do I go bottom? Like, I feel like it's always subjective, I guess, to each game. But I struggle to carry when I'm really fed.
I see.
I think too.
Yeah, that's
Like
normal.
all I know how to do is to kill them over and over again. You know, because they're like I'm super strong at that point, or they're jungle when they come to me. I try to take camps and stuff, but the game I lost today, we got Baron, Dragon came up, my team went for Dragon, and my Valkyrie told me to split push top, and I started going top, and then they all died, and I think that's probably where I lost, because then their team got too fed, and they had an Anivia, so it was hard to team fight. But I wasn't sure. I was still so strong though. Like I had so much gold. Like I was level 18, like full build, and I even sold an item to get a different item. I was just selling items and replacing them because I was so fed, but I still lost because I have such poor decision making.
I can make it really simple for you. How often do you think of the waves? Let's say 20 minutes after the game starts. Like let's
after,
say
out of laning.
Yeah.
Like if I get my tower.
Yeah. Let's say this game went normal and let's say you won lane. Let's say his turret is down.
Okay.
Where would you go? Okay, let's say Dragon was just taken. Rift Herald was taken. There's no objectives. What would you do?
And my tower was down. Or their tower was down. I'd probably push.
Sorry.
I'd probably push top and try to help mid. Well, I don't know. I look at if I can help kill somebody, or I'll go for jungle camps. If I feel like I can't. It's so hard for me. I have no idea. I don't do anything consistent. I feel like outside of because there's just so much going on, and I'm like trying to figure out who to help, or if I should just push. I feel like I find myself just pushing waves and taking minions.
Yeah. So
jungle
I would definitely go bot lane, and why you want to go bot lane is the reason is it's close to mid lane. Mm-hmm. When you're top lane, you're like kind of far away from everything. Not only that, but a lot of the fights are going to happen around bot lane, especially like when Dragon's about to spawn. Like let's say a minute or two. Like let's say top lane is done, both towers are done,
mm-hmm.
and I would say okay, so probably you want to go bot lane because you want to fight for dragons. Not only that, but when you roam, the way you roam, you want to think about the minion wave, and it doesn't mean like I'm just gonna push it in and I'm gonna roam. When you push it in, you have about a minute before it starts getting pushed back to you, unless someone actually shoves it out, which I would say it would probably shorten it to about 30 to 45 seconds. And it doesn't sound like a lot of time, but that's a lot of time in the game where something can happen.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say I can't shove it in all the way. Let's say their bot lane tower is down, so I have to go further out to push out the wave to the tower. And that's obviously really risky. Unless I know like all of them are top lane, then I won't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I will just set it up so that it will end up crashing into the tower anyway. Like maybe I'll lose a minion wave, but you're always gonna have to trade something most of the time. So if you want to roam, then obviously you're gonna have to lose some minions. And in a case where you don't know where their team is, your map's a little dark, it's better to not push it in all the way because they might just pop out of nowhere, especially like 40, 50 seconds before Dragon spawns. They will just jump out of nowhere and catch you out and you'll just die for free.
Right.
Or even if there's nothing, right? Like if you don't know where all of them are, you don't want to be pushing up to their second tower. That's really risky. That's another reason why I like having first towers up, because I only need to push it a little bit for it to be, crashing into the tower. But let's say their tower is down in bot lane, then I'll push it to the certain point where it'll like just end up crashing to them. Maybe I'll lose like a minion wave or some minions.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment I do that, I start running around the map because if I'm close to my team and if something happens, well, I'm right there,
Yeah.
I don't have to I don't start pathing when something happens. I just start pathing close to my team because I know my team is going to be with people that they don't really care about my situation. They're just going to want to fight and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if I put myself in a position where I can help them out if something does happen, then suddenly I am able to impact a lot more games and why I was able to like roam mid lane or whatever. Why was I there at the right time? Because I set up bot lane in a way where I in my head I have like about a minute before I have to go back to bot lane to manage the wave, because I set it up to the point where if it bounces back, it'll take about a minute for it to really like bounce back to my tower, or someone on the enemy team will have to go and clear it. And if somebody on the enemy team goes and clears it while they're clearing the minion wave, and let's say they're bot lane and support, they like to go mid lane. I'm sure you've seen it, and they like to push up to the mid tower.
Yeah.
If I come from bottom side, well, suddenly I'm in a position to flank them. Like let's say my opponent is clearing the minion wave under tower when I pushed it in, or he has to set it up so that it pushes back. During that time, I suddenly have like an opportunity to force something in mid lane because I'm coming from bot side, and that's also why I like having a sweeper, because if I'm running through the river, I don't want to run through a bunch of wards and then set myself up and then just end up dying,
Yeah.
And that's another thing. And if you have a teleport, then obviously you can just continue doing that, but you don't need to like wait for something to happen. You just kind of like position yourself so that when something happens, you're just right there. Obviously, it sucks to waste your teleport because maybe there will be a situation like later in the game where you're pushed up to their second tower or something because you know that they're all topside, and when the enemy team jumps on your team, then you teleport in a case like that. So you always want to just be looking at the wave, say the lane, which should be bot lane after about 15 minutes. You just want to manage it, basically. You just want to tend to your crops. So you just want to set it up so that you have some time to roam around and then come back and not lose much.
Okay,
And
so when you're
that's it.
so when you're
I
ahead,
wouldn't overthink it.
so when you're ahead and you're like smurfing, when you're like super fed, you just start grouping with them, or kind of like you group as much as you can. Kind of sounds like that. Because I feel like I split push a lot. Like I feel like I just focus on farming and farming and farming. It's like almost like auto. Like all I can think about is getting.
Unless I'm really really behind, then I don't focus only on farming. I obviously like that's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, the moment I go bot, I set it up so that I can roam.
Oh, okay.
Like that's your objective. You just want to be able to roam.
Okay.
Blind roam, like you
Right.
just want to be near your team, right? Like you don't want to start roaming from bot lane all the way to top lane just because your team is there, unless you're certain that something is going to happen. But if you push out bot lane and your team is all top lane, that means you can farm mid lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're farming mid lane, suddenly you're a lot closer to top lane. So if you think something is going to start happening, when you set up mid lane, let's say, and your whole team is top lane, you should already be pathing towards top lane because you see them all there. They're itching to fight. And you can tell that easily, right? Like it's not marking sides.
Yeah.
And you probably felt it when you were split pushing. You're like, I think my team is gonna fight, and like 10 seconds later they start fighting.
Yeah.
So
take that 10 seconds and go.
Yeah, if you did that 10 seconds before, if you started pathing there, maybe you would have been in position to clean up or do whatever, especially if you're fed.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly your game agency goes up. Like the moment you start sleeping in a lane, your game agency, like, it doesn't matter your score, it goes way down.
Mm-hmm.
The only time you want to be just sitting in lane is when you know you'll be completely useless in a team fight. Like let's say you're 0-7 or something like that.
True.
Then you're not going to do anything. And it's better for you to freeze the lane no matter how late it is, like 20 minutes in. If you see that the wave is pushing to you just want to maintain that, because you're gaining XP and somebody on their team is not getting XP. And another thing is, when nothing is happening, you always want to slow push if you can, because that way you stack up the wave, somebody has to come down and clear it. And not only that, but you're safe in your minion wave when you're slow pushing. Like obviously this can get pretty complicated, but basically you just want to be setting up waves so you have time to roam around or be where your team needs you.
Yeah, I work on that.
Yeah, let's see what happened with the whole dragon thing. And right here you saw like a little mistake. So he's stronger than you, just got chunked.
Yeah, I thought for some reason like I'm already like 75% health. Like I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, if you kill that minion, he just Qs you, E's you, and then ignites you, and then you just can't do anything. Like you have a level. I think I told you have a level, but just the fact that he has a bramble, I think, ruined that. Like normally with Irelia, like with this lane, you should get ahead of him. Like
run away from that too.
Yeah, early on. And let's see. I think maybe And it's a good idea to, every time you play a game, if you feel like you could have played a lot better, just go over it real quick. Watch your little mistakes. And you can spot those mistakes easier, like if you don't want to watch the whole game, just go on your desk and just see, like, how could I change the outcome of this?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't think of why, go further back. Think about what led up to the situation. Like maybe I mismanaged my wave like 30 seconds ago that allowed them to dive me or something like that. Or maybe I should have left the 15 seconds before that because maybe a tiny detail on the minimap where I spotted them and then they disappeared into the fog of war. Maybe they're like heading up towards me. Things like that because it allows you to think better when you are in those situations. So right now you just know that you kill that minion basically guaranteed that you die because of your HP and his items.
I know. I could have got away there at least. That probably could have.
Yeah, if you kept running.
Like there's no way I kill him there.
Yeah.
He took 2 damage.
Yeah, when you Q that and he just jumped on you, you got your E, you just keep running and then probably flash away. I think his flash was down.
That's painful.
But it's alright. Yeah, I understand. It's like that for me too, don't worry. Especially when I start like thinking that it's my teammate's fault or something. Cringe. It's actually all me. And right here, I think, if you notice right here, you could have maybe, and when you're in a position like this where you can't fight him, and you're hovering back, maybe you could have looked over here, like go under a tower or something, and see what's happening here. Because if you notice, you have a decent opportunity because you have a ward right behind them. It's a misfortune and a Jhin. Like, that's a tasty combo for Irelia with ult up.
Yeah.
You teleport right behind them, that's a free double kill right there. So
I'm pretty sure that's who carried them, right?
Yeah, that's also who carried them. So you always want to be watching for things like that. Like if your lane is pretty stationary like this, where nothing is happening, you have to play passive, then it's also a good idea to look at the map and see if you could do something for your team. Because the moment you fall behind in lane, suddenly you're going to have to look for opportunities elsewhere, because you're not going to be able to fight this guy for quite a while. Maybe until Bork you might have a chance, but it also depends if he completes like a stride breaker and stuff. Like, you can see their bot lane is hella overextending, right?
Yeah.
And Brand is also almost there. Like, this is even a better time to teleport. Or at least see if you can teleport. Because, you're really focused on lane, even when like you're not in any danger. Like right now, he can't jump on you or anything. Like it's a good time to look around the map and see if you can go for something. So you always want to be actively thinking about the game. Like right here, let's see. So I think that's another opportunity that you might have missed. There's not much you could do here. It's like, I think Kazakh's
Does he kill
killed her anyway. Yeah. And right now, I think I told you Dragon's about to be up, so you want to head down.
Oh yeah, I should have went on Jhin right away. I saw what you meant by that. I think if I was like super focused, I probably would have saw him and just clicked R.
Yeah, I can see you looking at chat. Yeah. And you also delayed yourself by like 5 seconds. You could have already been probably at like blast plant. I think you see him like right here.
Do you look at a certain timer before you go? Is it like seconds?
I would say just judge for yourself. It probably takes you about 25 seconds to get there with boots. So I would probably start heading down at like 30 or 40 seconds before, just because your team might end up doing something right before it spawns.
That Jhin should have done.
Yeah.
I'm level 11, it's 9.
Yeah. No, it's alright. I think you were probably focused on what I was saying. But right here, this guy's like so clueless. Good God.
Yeah.
This is such a freak out. Like, I think he also walks by you and doesn't even.
I think we stand next to each other. I walked by.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yeah, he doesn't even notice you. Yeah. Yeah, so that guy should have died. I think he also had a big shutdown too, so. And the moment you spotted Orianna, you know you're in a bad spot, right?
Yeah.
What do you think you should have done the moment you saw Orianna? You spotted Jhin, you spotted Garen. So
my thought was like to get out of that situation. I probably could have ulted her and went on her and tried to kill her because they were far away from me. Right.
Yeah. Okay. You saw Jhin?
Yeah. I miss Fortune's there too.
Well, yeah, you could just assume that misfortune is there
Yeah.
because usually supports follow the ADCs, right?
Yeah.
So the moment you spotted Oriana, suddenly you're aware that 4 people are around you.
Yeah.
But you have a Bork. You're honestly, like, you might be 1-on-1 only. But you have the same kill pressure on this Oriana as if you were 10-0. She's still going to have the same HP. You're still probably going to do comparable damage because she doesn't have resistances. So the moment you spotted her, your cursor should have been on her. You should have ult flashed her. Because you don't have an escape. You have to create an escape at this point. Because Jhin is long range, she's going to ult. They're just going to chase you down. Like, even if you blast plant over, like, if you end up blast planting over here and go over here, this guy can maybe, like they'll all spot you, so this guy will probably make his way here and he'll be around. And you can say, boy, what if I flash? But Garen will probably just end up flashing after you, and then it's gonna suck either way. So you have 2 people trailing you from here. This guy's here. He blocks off this escape. I guess you could think maybe if I go here, I could hit the blast spot, flash over. But it's Jhin, right? He has extremely long range. They'll just catch you out. So your only option here was to all in the Oriana. Even if you get her to like flash away or something like that, at least she's not blocking your escape, right?
And she already hit me with it, so.
Yeah, she already hit you.
I think I was trying
moment,
to. Yeah. Cooldowns.
Yeah.
This was just a mess.
Yeah, it's alright. It happens. It's just you have to be like really aware of your surroundings when you play this game. Like the moment you spot her, I don't even know if you need to ult flash her. Yeah, you need to ult flash her. She would probably proc phase rush and
Yeah, I
run
could have
away.
dodged that too. I think.
Well, you don't need to.
Power flash. Or I don't need to do that. Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess if you are flash, you end up dodging it anyway. But you always want to be ready for situations like that, especially because, like I said, your escape was. You don't have an escape unless you kill her. And then, they just catch you out. And you guys get the dragon anyway, but...
oh yeah, positioning around the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Do you try to flank? Is that what you're saying? Like, is it
If
better
we have
to
good
try to flank?
vision, I'd go for a flank. Because if I go for a flank and we don't have good vision, and I suddenly run into like 4 of them or something, and they just focus me down, then I'm just gonna end up dying. But if we don't have good vision, then I don't go for a flank. I just hang around with my team. I keep separate from them a little bit, so that if there's a decent opportunity, I can possibly do something. And right here, I think you could have teleported. And you can see I have like pretty decent setup for teleport here.
Yeah, I would have TP'd on the ward in the river. Is that like not the spot? If I was gonna choose, yeah, where Kha'Zix came from.
Yeah, you could have definitely TP'd there because you also have the speed though from teleport, so you could cut them off here.
Mm-hmm.
If you teleport it, you have your ult. If you had your E and no R, then I would say it's a sketchy teleport. But right here, your team doesn't have a lot of setup. That's the only reason why I'm saying that, by the way. Sometimes if your team has a lot of setup, then your ultimate is not completely necessary. But in this case, it is because your team has like 0 setup. You have a freaking brand support. Like he's not a Sejuani, and you have a Kha'Zix and a Silas. So if you TP here with your ult, yeah, you would probably get a triple kill, I would guess. Especially because they're so squishy and have no Q interrupts whatsoever. Like that misfortune would probably like ran face first into you. So not only that, but they already like wasted some cooldowns on killing the brands. So I think that was a good opportunity for a TP. And your brand, I think, just ends up face checking again. And, those little things, like, yeah, 3 kills sounds nice, but the 3 kills there would have meant that this brand didn't die, because they'd be dead too.
Yeah.
So it has like a domino effect. And this is why mistakes like where you die are so bad, because you don't know how it's going to influence the game like 15 seconds later, like while you're dead. And right here, your team just ends up getting caught out. This is not something you can do about it. Like, you'd say, like, oh, but I didn't do anything wrong. But you did something wrong.
When I didn't
like,
TP.
Yeah, when you didn't TP.
When
like, people
Jen,
ask me, how do you spot mistakes? Yeah, like, if I can't spot it, like, in the situation where it occurs, I just go back and I'm like, how did all the events lead up to this situation? Could I change any of them? And, that teleport could have changed that.
Yeah, I never, like, I know a lot of people say watch VODs, and I never knew what to look at when VODs, other than, like, fighting stuff.
Mhm.
Like I didn't think about like things that have happened before that caused everything else.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
It makes sense though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And right here, it looks pretty fine to go for the tower, right? But you could also just go back. And the reason for that is this tower is going to kill all of these minions. It's going to kill all of this. This is all going to be gone. And then it's going to push back to you. It's going to go this way. So you have, I would say, because of the position of the wave and you guys don't have an outer tower, you probably have like at least a solid minute before it reaches this turret. And that's a lot of time to recall, buy something with the 475 gold, a longsword,
Yeah.
and then run this way. And the reason why you want to run that way is because if you see, they're overstaying kind of here. Your Jinx is about to spawn, your Sal's is going to spawn in like 10 seconds. The moment you shoved it in, imagine if you were with home guard boost ready to run at these people.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna back off. I didn't think they were gonna commit so hard until they did.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well.
Yeah. You don't want to think for the enemy team though, because if you think for the enemy team, then you have some issues with taking advantage of their mistakes, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
the moment, like, it doesn't matter what the enemy team is going to do right here. You should go back either way, because this tower is going to do the job for you. It's going to kill all these minions. Nobody on their team is going to get them. This is why I like outer towers. You don't have to push as far. And I would just recall, and then I would be in position. So if something like this happens, I can take advantage of it, possibly. Like where the enemy team is being stupid, and they will be, then I can suddenly get myself a kill or two. And if I get myself a kill or two, that would put me back in the game. Let's assume I'm behind. Like, they're really committing here. Look at this.
Yeah. That would have
Like,
been so good if I backed, especially.
Yeah, imagine if you were here and then you could have, like, Q this, you know, you get, like, a stun or an ult on Misfortune. You'd probably pop her, like, right away because she's support Misfortune. Yeah. You could probably kill the Rammus. You could probably kill the Jhin. You could do a lot.
Juicy.
Yeah, it could have been very juicy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, like, you can see the setup. Like, this is such an easy setup for you, too. You have your ult, you know, you can do a lot here.
Instead of just watching.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It's nothing like, that's what I'm telling people, like, mechanics don't really matter. It's mostly decision making. Like, the moment you saw that the tower can just take care of the minion wave for you, it's going to start pushing back to you. You don't need to be there. You can just leave, and when you see that the enemy team, like, is probably going to, let's see. They're still pushing top. Let me just see if it's going to be obvious that they're going to stay. Like, they're still staying. You could have recalled, like, in front of the tower. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, you know, people are going to be dumb. They're just going to keep looking for kills. It makes them feel good.
Yeah.
And your team is these pickings. Yeah. So the enemy team is just giving you opportunities to get back in the game, but you have to take advantage of them. And the way you take advantage of them is by being in a position where you can take advantage of them. And that's obviously done by timing your recalls. Like, hey, do I need to stay in this lane? Like,
yeah, it's definitely the hardest thing to get to learn, I think, the decision.
But it's pretty simple, right? It's pretty simple.
Yeah, it is simple.
You push it into the outer tower. Like, yeah, you get the outer tower, you get like 300 gold. But you could also let the outer tower kill all those minions that you're pushing with, and then knight them like 700 gold. And go back, and then, you know, if the enemy team stays and continues pushing, suddenly you're in position to take advantage of that and to get even more gold. And then you do everything that you want to do with your team for a while, because holy shit, you have so much time to do whatever you want before the bot lane minions make it to your tower. You have an outer tower, they have an inner tower. You have the second tower from the inhibitor, and they have the third one. So naturally, your side is going to be a lot longer. So you have a lot more time to, you know, get back to lane once it really pushes in. Like, by the time it pushes in, it takes a while. So during that time, suddenly you have a lot of time to do something with your team. Like, assuming your ultimate is up, unless your team has a lot of setup and your ultimate is not necessary. And in this case, it's up. So you could have done a lot with that if you were in position. And yeah, the farm is juicy, but this farm isn't
really
going
do anything for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't do anything for you, and it's always going to be there. Like,
yeah.
If you recalled when you pushed it into the first tower and then take the tower, you would have probably gotten like a double kill, triple kill. Maybe you would have gotten even a quadra kill. I don't know. Maybe the Garen was pretty low, so I don't know if he could have done anything to you.
Yeah, Kha'Zix chunked them all.
Yeah, you would have gotten pretty fat. You would have gotten kills, and then you could simply push up top after that. And this is how I get like 250 CS at 20 minutes sometimes, like when I'm really focused, is you don't need to be bot. So you can be pushing top out. You can push it in all the way to this tower, and then you don't need to take it. You can just go back, and then this is going to be pushing back to you. You can just come down here and take your time, take the jungle caps, and then the minion wave is going to be like right around here, and then you push this out again to the tower. You back out, you recall, or you roam through the river. Yeah, whatever your team is doing, right? Like if your team is around mid lane, then you want to roam to them. But you could also go back, buy something. You know, you just want to be thinking about the waves basically, and how they allow you to get in position for, you know, team fights, or to take advantage of what the enemy team is doing at the present situation. Like, you should be thinking about a lane as something that should only keep you there if you need to absolutely be there. Like where there's a fat minion wave crashing into your tower or something like that. And, you know, if something's going to happen and you have a fat wave under tower, screw the wave, you know? Like if your team ends up losing like a big fight right before a Baron or Dragon, that's pretty bad. Like the minion wave's not going to
compared. Yeah.
Yeah. But if there's nothing happening and you're pushing out a lane and you get to the tower, just leave. You don't need to take the tower. That's like 300 gold. It's not a huge deal, especially with outers. Like I like having outers because I told you I don't have to push out as much.
Yeah, you can do things.
Yeah, I can go back and I can help out my team. I can, you know, take advantage of the enemy team being
so
stupid.
So when you're stomping top, do you not take the tower as quick as you can? Kind of like, I mean, like if I'm like stomping, I just go for, like once you get all the plates, do you just like leave it up for a little bit, or do you like just take it? If it's really early, you know what I mean? Like everyone else still has a lot of platings, and you're like.
If I'm really snowballing, then it really depends on you. But normally you want to get those plates if you can. If it doesn't put you in danger, then yeah, go ahead and take the plates. Take all of them, because once the plates disappear, then they're gone forever. Like I said, top lane are after like 15 minutes anyway. So
True.
Yeah, go ahead and take those plates.
Yeah.
But after 15 minutes, like even if your bot lane is bot lane, just kick them out. Like it's not their lane anymore. That's where you should be, because the lane is further away from Baron. So if the enemy team does go for you, they might lose pressure on Baron, for example, like especially after 20 minutes.
Okay, yeah, no, I never do that. I never go bottom until like they leave. You know,
yeah.
I always wait for them to leave. That's something I can
no problem. No problem, yeah. Screw them, yeah. Bot lane is where you should be, at least like maximum 15 minutes. Bot lane suddenly is like the lane that you want to stay in. And obviously, like I told you, you know, just watch the map for opportunities. Sometimes, like especially if your lane is stationary, like if you see a good flank or something, especially when I have like a freaking Jhin and support misfortune, go ahead and teleport for that. Like you're always gonna have to trade something for it. Obviously, you're gonna lose minions, but in a case where your team is losing bot lane that hard, then it might be worth it, you know, to pick up a few shutdowns. But you know, I'm talking about outside of lane, where you told me you had issues, and I think what we talked about with how you manage the waves and giving yourself time to like be in position with your team or be in a position for an opportunity. When you set up the wave, you know, you don't have to be there. You can give yourself a full minute before it pushes back. You have a full minute to do something with your team.
Yeah, I need to stop being perma farm. I feel like that's all I do most games is farm, even if I'm snowballing.
Well, you still farm.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
Might be like AFK farm, like top lane.
Yeah, of course. You never want to be AFK farming. You just want to think about, hey, how can I set up the wave so I can roam around, you know, where I can play the game. I don't want to be playing co-op versus AI, you know.
Oh, also, you said, because you told me to buy the rest of the shield bow. Do you not like, how do you look at boots, like when to purchase them? Because like I feel like I go Bork and then straight boots always. Like I never try to get.
For me, it's like personal preference with builds, but for me, my logic is shield bow is expensive. The components suck, and I just want to complete it as soon as possible, because it gives me a 600 damage shield at like level 11 or something. That's me pretty tanky, gives me a bunch of AD. So the quicker I finish that, the easier team fighting becomes for me. Because when you're sitting on these components, I think there's no other time in the game where I dread playing this champion.
Okay.
I feel so fucking shit with these 2 items right here.
Yeah.
So obviously I wanna get out of that stage of the game as soon as I can.
Yeah.
And that's by finishing shield bow. Yeah. But with the waves, that's how you want to think about them outside of lane. Like bot lane is your lane because it puts you far away from Baron past 20 minutes. So if the enemy team does actually fully commit for you, your team has Baron pressure. And not only that, but most of the fights are going to happen in mid lane or around here. If Baron's not up, like you rarely see fights happen here. It's almost always here, right?
Yeah.
So you're also going to be in a better position to join. And like I said, you can set up the wave so that you don't need to be there. Like you push it to the tower, or let's say it's too risky to push it all the way. Like this segment right here is risky, right? If this tower is down, this is really risky to push out if you don't know where they are. Maybe I'll have like a slow push going on over here if I don't want to risk anything. I'll have a slow push right here, so that when the enemy minion wave, I see the last one is coming through here and it's about to hit me. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like where there's going to be some time before the next wave meets the allied minion wave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So during that time, I'll be like, okay, so now I'm going to shove it. So they end up meeting right around here, let's say. Like, yeah, I'm going to lose this minion wave coming from this side. But the amount of minions here is going to be a lot larger than this one. So they're going to kill it right away, even under tower. And what that means is suddenly this tower is getting hit by like a fuck ton of minions. And I'm already out. I'm already gone. I never even like pushed up that far. Like I just let the minions do the work for me. Now I can look to do dragon while this is happening. This is going to mean that these minions are all going to have to die. It's slowly going to push back to me, and I have so much time until it gets back to my tower that I could be doing dragon with my team. I could just be sitting here if my team is right here. You know, if let's say I'm like walking here and my team is here, and the enemy team is here, and they start fighting. Oh look, I only have this much distance to cover now. You know, I only have this much distance instead of, let's say I'm autopiloting and I'm only focused on minions instead of this much distance. Assuming my teleport is down, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I like staying bot lane after 15 minutes. I mean, that's what all top laners do, like, after a certain point. But yeah, normally we just want to be sitting there just because of that reason. And
Yeah.
Obviously, you get the Krugs and the Gromp. You could always take those. And the way you want to take jungle caps is like when you shove it in like this. This is good because you're not missing minions. Or if your opponent is farming, like they're killing a wave, you don't need to be there. You can just be taking jungle caps because they will make it so that you don't lose much minions. So you can just be farming during that time, and then you can clear the wave. So it's all about efficiency. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I stay top so much. I never go bot. I feel
Yeah,
like for
screw
this
top
one-
lane.
Unless Baron's actually up and Dragon's gone, I'm always bot top lane.
Yeah, screw
Yeah.
top lane. There's also a lot more ways for them to gank you from top side.
Yeah.
There's a blast plant right there. There's a blast plant right there.
Is
It's
there
a lot
like
harder for them.
Is there a certain spot you keep your control word when you're pushing bot lane then? Or like bot side? Is there like a specific or like a control word spot? You know
I
what
usually save. Yeah, I know what you mean. I usually save my control word for some skirmishes or team fights that are about to happen. Like let's say my team is setting up for dragon, like right around here. Maybe I'll drop my control word. It's in like this bush, or you know, like where I feel like we don't have a lot of. Yeah, where I don't feel like we have a lot of vision, where I feel like somebody might end up teleporting from. If I drop a control word there, we'll see them going for a flank or something like that. But when I go bot lane, I just use my sweeper and I just pass around. Let's see if I can cover any wards, or if I don't end up using my sweeper, then I use it when I start roaming around. So it always switch to sweeper after 15 minutes as well. It's very useful.
Yeah, I need to get sweeper too earlier.
Yeah.
So 15 minutes, bot lane, or ideally bot lane.
Ideally,
sweeper.
yeah.
Yeah.
bot lane
I'll just
sweeper.
randomly just turn off my brain, go bot lane.
Yeah.
It's like it's time.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Look at the
mean.
wave. Be like, hey, do I need to be here? Okay, no, it's gonna bounce back to me. I have some time to do whatever.
Yeah.
Or during that time that if I really want to be farmed, during that time it does that, I'll just go like, okay, while it bounces back, I'm gonna go mid lane because my mid laner, well, my whole team is over here. I'll push this out. Nothing is happening yet. I push that out. Okay, I'm gonna go top. Okay, something happened top. Great, I got like 3 kills. I'm gonna go back. Suddenly I have the bot lane farm too, and suddenly I'm sitting at like 230 CS at 20 minutes. You know, so I had like a good lane phase too. Now I'm like level 15 to everyone level 13. It makes it so much easier for me to kill people. That's like my whole thought process. That's pretty much my game plan every game.
Yeah, I'm gonna start trying to do that.
Yeah.
See
Yeah,
how
it'll help you a
much it
lot.
changes.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously you always want to watch your replays. Like past broadcasts are pretty useful because you know you can just skip through them, just go over your deaths or whatever. Or if you can't figure out why it happened in the situation at the snapshot, then just go a little back and ask yourself, hey, what led up to this? And obviously it's easy to spot. Like you even spotted it. You know, I asked you, hey, what do you think it caused Brand's death? Oh yeah, those people that I could have killed.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
And it
the
helps
hard
me play
part,
better.
actually. Just
Yeah,
like
it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it helps you play better too. Like the next game. At least that's what I found for myself. Like here, you can't go for teleports. Like the further your team falls behind, the less opportunities you start getting. Like if you didn't abuse those, then you just end up losing.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how much farm I have if I'm not doing nothing proactive.
And right here, this is what I meant with the bot lane setup. See how it's pushing to you? Like this is a good setup. Like you recalled and went top. Look at bot the whole time. It's just taking forever to push back to you. You have all that time to do whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, that's what I meant with the bot lane setup. Obviously, the top lane thing was unfortunate here with Garen cheesing you. Let me just see.
I probably shouldn't push that far out top, even if I don't vision anywhere in the jungle, right?
Vision, either that or maybe you could have just ran right here and see if somebody's taking that. Or you could have maybe, the moment you cleared that, you could have just walked around here and just sweeped it. But honestly, I would probably fall for that cheese play. Sometimes you're going to fall for cheesy shit like that. It's at no fault of your own. The only fault of your own is letting him get to that stage where he can just do whatever he wants, basically. You know?
Yeah.
You know, the few mistakes he made in lane allowed him to control the game. And the few opportunities that you missed by not teleporting or running to your team, the ones we mentioned. So that's what leads you to be in a bad spot. Like obviously, if you were you're the same level, but let's say you had like more items, you probably could have killed him. Like let's say he has about, I would say like 1,000, 2,000 gold on you. With that amount of money, you have shield bow, rage blade, maybe a cloth armor. You probably could kill him.
Yeah.
Like,
I had the gold for it too.
Yeah, you never want to fall behind to the point where the enemy top laner can just do that. Like sometimes it's gonna happen. Like you know, people make mistakes, but in a case like that, then instead of right here, when you spawn, because you're behind, but you're not very behind. It's completely up to you. But they're gonna get Baron. But when you go down here, I think I mentioned it to you actually. You can just let these minions, because they're bigger wave than this one. You can just let them kill the creeps, and you can just last hit. That way you deny them some CS. But that's normally something I would recommend if you're like really behind. You were the same level as the Garens, so. But
I wish I was more aggressive in lane. There was so many times where I could have been super strong.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, that's like only at certain times. You don't need to be like crazy aggressive or anything. Just be like, oh, yeah, this guy's being dumb. I'm going to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And right here, I think.
Oh, she flashed at me too.
Yeah, she flashed at you. So you eat the Garen, which is fine, but your Jinx is pretty fucked.
Yeah, fresh.
She's dead. The moment this guy flashed, oh god, that's a free kill.
Oh yeah, I Q right to her. Or E.
Yeah.
No, I
not only that, but Jin also flashed over the wall. You saw that, right?
No. Now I do. Now I noticed it. I didn't notice that was happening. I was too focused on Garen chasing the Jinx, I think.
Yeah. So you always want to be ready to like watch the whole screen of yours. Because if
Yeah.
you watch the whole stream of yours and suddenly you could have, you should be ready. You should be fluid, ready to take advantage of situations like that. Like, oh my god, MF
Yeah, hard
flash.
punish that right away.
Oh, yeah,
Especially the
just kill it right
squishies.
away. Yeah, especially squishies, because they do stupid stuff like that. And you kill Garen, you probably would have not even died because you just run away. And then possibly you might be strong enough to do something about it in the next fight. And right here, I think I mentioned maybe you guys can pick out Garen.
When you said pick off, I turned. I thought at first you were talking about the Jin, and then I saw.
Yeah, no problem. So if you also got to communicate, right?
Yeah.
The moment you started pathing, you should have been like, on my way, on my way. On
I
my
really
way.
don't ping.
Yeah, you gotta
Ping
ping. You can mute all, but you still gotta use your pings.
Yeah, I
And
feel like I
somebody-
assume that they're not going to listen to me, so I just don't do it, which is bad.
spam them enough to
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
And obviously, don't be afraid to call for ganks. Like if you kill somebody and you get back to lane and it's still pushing back to you, just ask for a gank.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're gonna be overextended, right? They don't have
Yeah.
flash. Like yeah, you can maybe kill them by yourself, but if your jungler is nearby, why risk it, right? Like
Try not to
a
be so
2v2.
independent.
Yeah. Just be independent, but think of your team as a resource.
Yeah, okay.
And then you guys ended up losing. But you see what I mean? Like if you took advantage of what I said in lane, you did the teleport at that time that we discussed. You went bot lane a little sooner. You were able to help around. Sorry, if you went bot lane and then you pushed it to the tower instead of taking, you just went back. Suddenly you were in a position to get 4 kills because you already did your job. You set up bot lane, so it pushes back to you guys. That's the way you just want to think about minion waves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope all that helped.
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
I'm gonna sit there. I'll rewatch. I'm gonna listen to everything again just to drill it
Okay.
in. I think it's
Okay,
gonna.
yeah.
I think it's gonna help a lot because a lot of stuff that I didn't even like, even the bot lane stuff. I just autopilot push. I think, especially with chat.
Yeah, no problem. And like trust yourself. You don't have to watch your character so much. Like, be ready to watch around the map. Just when you see on the map, hey, this I'm basically free to do what I want in top lane. Like this, I'm 4-0. I
Yeah.
don't know whether whatever are. Like I could easily kill my lane opponent, but this time I can do it for free. And not only that, but you also want to think, okay, I'm 5-0. I can turret dive the Riven, but there's a good chance I'll have to flash away to live.
Yeah.
Why would I do that? Like I'm 5-0. Me without flash is a lot easier for the enemy team to kill than me without than me with flash. So
Yeah.
obviously, especially for something like Dragon, I probably want to keep the flash. The Riven's probably tilted. She's gonna end up pushing up anyway. So I always want to be patient as well, right? So yeah, just think of this game as like just a giant resource, and you just have to manage it correctly to win.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot, but like once you start paying attention to this stuff, it just becomes easier and easier.
Drill it in. Then
Yeah,
you don't
drill
really.
in.
I feel like you don't think about it as much. You just
Yeah, it's also really
react.
simple. Like the stuff that I mentioned with like managing ball lane and just using that time to like roam around, recall, set up other waves, look for opportunities, like stuff like that is completely fine to do as well. So, and not only that, but like once you push out the wave where it starts bouncing back to you, why do you want to hang around, right? You're not doing anything.
Yeah. No point in sitting there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Even if you're against something like Tryndamere that splits, it's got to take
Yeah.
him a while to push it back up. So you can do something, recall, stop him.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun when you think about it this way. Honestly, I'm like, oh, League is fun, but it does take a lot of focus. So obviously, like when you're trying to do all this stuff, no chat.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna when I'm on stream. I feel like it's super. It's just always kind of gonna be a little bit more autopilot. But I think I need to play a lot more off stream and then start getting into that groove after, like off. When I'm completely focused. That way I can. Hopefully, when I stream, I'm get into the habit of doing what I'm doing off stream because I think it'll help a lot if I do play off stream. Because I do
You
want to
don't
get
even
better.
need to.
It's so hard. I feel like when I do bad, I get nervous in a way, and then I start snowballing being bad because I'm like, everyone's watching me. It's more of like a nerves thing.
Yeah.
Like I need to get into the groove of thinking that way, I think. Because my brain just shuts off when I run it down.
Yeah, I wouldn't overthink it. Just always remind yourself of those basic
The basics,
things that we
yeah.
talked about. Yeah, and it'll basically help you from tilting as well. Like, oh shit, I'm 0-4. You know what? It's fine. I'll
Yeah.
freeze bot lane or something. I'll let it push to me. My team's probably gonna be like, if I join my team, I'm just guaranteed that I lose if I'm like 0-4 and
Yeah.
I'm down like 2 levels. I probably just want to catch up, so I'll just freeze a bot lane. I'll just sit around, just last hit, and then once I feel like I got enough from it, I start grouping with my team, and suddenly I can do a lot. And mute all.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you're gonna have to
I do that the first death. You know, it's done. I'm just not gonna listen to them.
Yeah, because
I
your team is
know.
gonna point out and want you to do the wrong decisions a lot of the time. So they're just a distraction. Their pings can help though.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't mute
Yeah.
the pings.
Yeah, the pings are good to have.
Yeah.
I would honestly just disable chat. You can just disable chat, that way you keep the pings. And if they're annoying you with pings, just mute the pings.
True.
Yeah, that's what I did. It helps me a lot. But yeah, just stop yourself from autopiloting. Just pay attention to the minion waves. That'll help you a lot from autopiloting. And think about the domino effect. Like the moment you set up a wave where you don't need to be in the lane,
Yeah.
you want to be in position for situations that happen.
Abuse the domino effect.
Yeah, basically, yeah. and when you do that, the enemy team could be like, oh shit, like.
Yeah, my mental boom might be like.
Yeah, they'll mental boom.
She's
They'll
too
want
strong.
to.
I thought they were gonna mental boom the game where I was hard winning. I'm so sad that they didn't.
They probably were. If you watch the replay, I'm sure
Yeah.
you're gonna find surrender votes. Like,
Yeah.
there's always gonna be like 2 people that really want to win. Maybe they'll keep everyone in line. Sometimes you're gonna get games where they just surrender. I had a game where I was like 3-3-2. This is versus Grandmaster Challenger players though. Like they're more likely to just surrender and move on. We got Baron and
I
you
feel
surrendered.
that. Yeah.
So just expect that the enemy team usually won't surrender, and just
don't count
focus
on
on managing bot where you can roam and be with your team, or manage a different lane if you've already managed bot lane, like your mid is top lane. You're a little far from them. Make your way to mid lane, manage mid lane, and if you see that something is going to happen, the enemy team is showing, your team is showing, start running top lane.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, and then recall, go manage bot lane, just repeat. It's just a very systematic way of playing, but
It works.
it's the best way. Yeah, that's the best way. It's smart.
Cool.
And I always want to think about, like, hey, if I push this out, can I get caught? Yeah. Okay, then I'm gonna slow set it up so that it will destroy the next wave, so I can just roam anyway. Like, yeah, I'll lose that one wave, but it's better than dying,
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, this stuff was like eye-opening to me when I was learning it. I only learned it like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
I went from Diamond 1 to Challenger in less than a month. So.
There's nowhere that kind of like tells you these kind of things or teaches you, I mean, I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, but I feel like it doesn't really, go that kind of thought process. Like they don't teach you. It's hard to
I watched like coaching videos of like Master Plus players getting coached, and suddenly like all clicked for me because
okay, that's actually I just watch like the like MOBA fire things.
Oh no,
Yeah.
screw that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to go above like at least platinum, then all that stuff is not gonna help you. You always want to watch somebody like Max Waldo coaching Solar Baka or something. Like, yeah, they're both really high level, and you're probably like, what can I learn from that? But they're gonna talk about lane management and stuff, which you can learn a lot from that. It's like just knowledge. It's like reading a book. They're just talking about some stuff in a book, and if you learn that stuff from the book, then you can also apply it. It's not like hitting a triple barrel on Gangplank. Like they're not talking about that,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because that's what I would look at, like Irelia versus something, and just watch it play out. But I don't ever hear them talk about like what they're thinking, all that kind of thing, because it does make a huge difference.
Yeah, but now that you're aware of this, you can watch for it, and you can also you can also judge a player by how they manage those concepts that I mentioned. They're very basic, but there are people in Challenger even that don't do that, right? Like some people are just so fucking gifted at this game mechanically that, and by the way, decisions enable mechanics, obviously.
Yeah.
But some of them are just so good that it really doesn't matter that much. Like maybe not Challenger, because I think to a certain point, you need like a really good macro. I was getting stuck in Grandmaster over and over again because I didn't know this stuff that I talked about, and I think anyone can get it. So, it's just about maximizing, and then once you start doing this stuff, everything will start falling in place. Yeah, you're gonna have misplays, but mechanics are a lot easier to work on than they're a lot easier to work on after you know all this stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, and you know, like if you're gonna do a team fight or you're gonna fight more than 1 or 2 people, take a quick glance at the map. Be like, okay, do I have my team close enough to me to help me out? No. Okay, then I probably want to stay far
Yeah,
away.
maybe I
Do
should
I have
have
a
been there.
person? Yeah, I have a person that is dead on my team. Why am I walking so close to the enemy team? That's like the last thing I want to do. I wouldn't want to fight a 4v5. You know, that's dumb. So do all those little things to keep yourself from. It'll help you a lot.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. Hope that helps.
Excited to play some more.
Yeah, it makes the game a lot more fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the help. I really, really appreciate it.
No
Can't
problem.
wait to
Happy to
spam off stream.
All right, well, best of luck to you.
All right, thanks.
All right, you're welcome. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, there's so much to learn. There's so much to learn, my brain. You know, it's so hard. You hear these things, but you never think about these things before. You know? You know?